Go ahead.
Thank you. On the origins of COVID, there's a new Wall Street Journal story that 3 researchers at the Wuhan Institute of Virology were hospitalized with symptoms consistent with both COVID-19 and common seasonal illness in November of 2019. That's something that is apparently known to U.S. intel officials. So why isn't President Biden pushing for more access, more information to get to the bottom of exactly what happened?
We are. And we have repeatedly called for the WHO to support an expert-driven evaluation of the pandemic's origins that is free from interference or politicization. Now, there were phase 1 results that came through. We were not, during that first phase of the investigation, there was not access to data, there was not information provided. And now we're hopeful that WHO can move into a more transparent, independent phase 2 investigation.
But with 589,920 dead Americans, at what point does President Biden say, we don't want to wait for the WHO, we don't know what they're doing, this needs to be an American-led effort to get to the bottom of what happened?
Well, first of all, we need access to the underlying data and information in order to have that investigation.
And why not? But he talks all the time about how he's known President Xi for a long time. So why can't he just call
and we need
ask
them
him for that information?
I think you're misunderstanding how this process actually works. An international investigation led by the World Health Organization is something that we've actually been pressing for several months in coordination with a range of partners around the world. We need that data, we need that information from the Chinese government. What we can't do, and what I would caution anyone doing, is leaping ahead of an actual international process. We don't have enough data and information to jump to a conclusion at this point in time.
So is there any amount of casualties from COVID in this country that would make you want to not wait for an international effort and just do it as...
Well, I have to say, I think the family members of the loved ones whose lives have been lost and deserve accurate information, data, not the jumping to a conclusion without having the information necessary to conclude what the origins are. What we do share, everyone in this country, is a desire to know how this started, where it started, and prevent it from ever happening again. That's something we all share. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. I want to ask you first about the negotiations that are going to be getting back underway in Vienna tomorrow over the Iran nuclear agreement. How would the White House assess the status of those talks? It doesn't seem like there's too much momentum toward an agreement. Would you agree that things are kind of grinding to something of a halt here?
Well, we're not going to predict an outcome before the 5th round, I think, if I'm remembering the numbers specifically, have even begun. Look, the fact that they are starting a 5th round of negotiations, even as they are indirect, is a sign that we're continuing to plug along on the path to diplomacy. We continue to believe that's absolutely the right approach and the right steps as it relates to preventing Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. We know, because we have been through this journey before, that this is going to take some time, that there will be moments where it is challenging and hard and there are difficult conversations. And that is certainly playing out. But the alternative would be not pursuing diplomatic negotiations and accepting that we won't have visibility or access to an understanding of Iran's capabilities like we have, which would be similar to the situation we've had over the last couple of years. So we're going to we have the best diplomats on the ground. We're going to keep plugging away, working with our European partners and seeing what we can achieve here.